Welcome to the weekend and to another Super Start Select Weekend Edition, the monstrous Big Daddy to daily weekday Start Select's puny little sister.
Harvesting the precious atom of video games news from the abandoned corpse of the internet.
Video game reference!
In this weekend's show, I put your questions to the makers of gruesome holiday sim Dead Island. You remember the one with the backwards trailer.
Also, Mark gives us a peek at Okabu, the super charming adventure puzzler from the creators of super charming tilty iPhone game Rolando.
We'll add further goodies to the ever-growing Start Select prize pile, which currently includes an armoured Xbox 360 case, a Battlefield 3 hoodie and a copy of Street Cleaning Simulator.
And as is Start Select custom, we'll have a fine selection of your feedback to share. So let's jump right in, shall we?
Dead Island set the internet all aflutter back in February with its attention-grabbing announcement trailer.
Those hoping for a poignant, backwards, Memento-like thriller with zombies in it will only be partially disappointed. It does have zombies in it.
Those hoping for an open-world action horror title with lashings of melee combat, on the other hand, are in luck. For those very people, we popped along to a Dead Island hands-on session armed with the questions you asked us to ask the makers of the game.
Hey, this is Jane Douglas for GameSpot UK. We are here in a central London location to put your questions to Pete Brolly of Deep Silver, one of the makers of Dead Island. Hi, Pete.
Yes, how's it going?
Yeah, very well, very well. First of all, before we jump into the user questions, just for anyone who's not familiar somehow with Dead Island, tell us what it is.
Okay, well, Dead Island is the classic holiday story. You know, you go on holiday, you have a few drinks, wake up in the morning with a headache, and all your friends are zombies, and everyone's eating each other. So yeah, basically the player steps into the shoes of one of four characters, and they're tasked with, basically trying to get the hell off the island and unravel the mysteries as they progress. So our character has been shown to be immune to zombification. Sure. You're not immune to getting your head ripped off, so that's the thing. So you have players to be careful. Of course, you can't just run in and go nuts. So.
Okay, excellent. Ozzy says, in comparison to GTA again, or Red Dead Redemption, how large is the map?
We've got this huge resort area starting off. This is one of many areas that we have. And it would take a player, I mean, if they want to walk from one side to the other, something like 30 minutes, just going from A to B. Of course, then you've got zombies in the way, and they need to be dealt with. So we have vehicles as well, and they are actually going to feel necessary as well. But to put some kind of number on it, we can say that the player's going to get, the average player, average Joe, is going to get like between 25-30 hours of gameplay out of the game, doing the main story, taking some side missions.
Okay, cool, very nice. Tom Davies says, were you worried that people would be disappointed after the tone of the game contrasts so much with the tone of the trailer?
Well, I wouldn't say the tone of the game contrasts so much. I mean, with the trailer, we sat down and first and foremost we wanted to put across the atmosphere of the game, the feeling of the oppression with the zombie apocalypse, and this is why we chose the family in the trailer. To illustrate the fact that no one is safe, not even this nice little family. Whenever there's a zombie apocalypse, everyone is meat on the table, essentially.
Okay, and what would you describe? How would you describe the sort of the key mood of the game? Is it something serious, or is it something more lighthearted and fun?
No, we're absolutely saying it's serious. I mean, we want to move away from the slapstick nature of zombies. I mean, if I had to use one word to describe Dead Island, I would probably use the word visceral. Is what we're going for.
Adam Shepherd says, if you hadn't chosen a tropical island as your setting, what would have been your second choice?
Well, my second choice, coming from Ireland, would be Dead Ireland.
Dead Island.
I think that would be nice. It's an island, a big island, okay. And would have a very interesting weather system. So, yeah, but that would be my choice, but no one listens to me.
You're alone in that one?
Yes.
Ben Leslie says, will there be chainsaws?
I'm not talking about chainsaws.
We're not talking about chainsaws today.
No chainsaw.
So you're saying Ben's going to have to wait and see, or you're saying probably no to the chainsaw?
I'm just going to say wait and see what kind of weapons he'll find. Maybe
Okay.
Maybe something better than a chainsaw.
All right, Ben. Better than chainsaws. There you go. Chris Thompson says, what would your zombie slaying weapon of choice be? What would your zombie slaying weapon of choice be?
Well, I've read Max Brooks, of course, so I'm Yeah, I would have to, I'd have to say the machete, of course. Nice, clean weapon. Doesn't take too much to maintain. But talking about Dead Island and weapons you can create, I'm a big fan of the sticky bomb. So where we have a small knife, we've got some components we put together. We make basically an explosive knife. So you can use it normally in melee, and then when you're getting a little bit bored of it, or it's wearing down a little bit, then you can throw it. Sticks into the zombie after a few seconds, it's going to explode. As we've seen here today, when we're playing 4-player co-op, it's always a good idea to let your friends know that you're going to do that as well, because kaboom, and there's bits everywhere. So.
Okay, so like you implied, the weapons they degrade with use.
Yes, absolutely. For example, there's in one area we have a garage where once you clean the zombies out, as a reward, this opens up and you can get some different items, and there's always like a workbench there where you can repair your weapons. So the players always given an opportunity to keep their weapons in shape. So if they have a favorite weapon, they can really look after it and hang on to it as well. So that's something that we're quite happy with.
Classic slow zombies or kind of new fast zombies? What's your personal preference, and what's Dead Island's preference?
Well, my personal preference is the old, the classic George Romero zombies, of course. I mean, they're sometimes you think that they're not so dangerous, but whenever that's the power of the zombie. Don't underestimate the zombie. You might run into the wrong corner and you're going to be overwhelmed by these slow zombies. But with Dead Island, we like to say we have something for everybody.
William says, is there any celebrity you would have liked to include in Dead Island as a cameo appearance?
Oh, well, I like what Plants vs. Zombie did with zombie Michael Jackson, but I guess that is not in very good taste at the moment, so... Yeah, or Bill Murray, of course.
Well, right.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, that would have been awesome, but... Well...
He's not answering your calls.
He's not answering the calls, no. I keep calling. You want to be a zombie again? Come on. But no.
So final question, the obvious one. When can we expect to see the game, and for what platforms?
So Dead Island will be on store shelves for Xbox 360, PS3 and PC on the 9th of September.
Okay, Pete, thanks very much for joining us.
Adorable action puzzler Rolando was an early success story among iPhone games, and now its creators are trying their hand at a PSN game, Okabu.
They pretty much had us at Cloud Whales, you play as a Cloud Whale, but if you need a little more to go on, please consider Mark's preview as follows.
If cute, colourful and slightly eccentric indie games are your thing, Rolando developer Hand Circus has just the thing, the co-op adventure game Okabu. You play as one of two cloud whales named Kamulo and Nimbe, members of an ancient and peaceful race that lives above the skies of the land known as Okabu. Their normally happy-go-lucky lives in the sky are disrupted when pollution from Okabu begins to make the creatures sick and generally ruin their evenings. Sick and frustrated, Kamulo and Nimbe set out to find the source of the pollution, only to be overwhelmed by it and crash on the land. It's there they find the source, the evil Dozer tribe, and make it their mission to clean up the land. You're not on your own in your mission though. Other Okabu tribes have been suffering from the pollution, and their many villagers are more than happy to lend you a hand in taking down the Dozer. The villagers play a key role in solving the many puzzles you encounter during your journey. The first level introduces you to an eccentric character known as Captain Monkfish. Stranded on an island after a freak fishing accident, your daring rescue sees him ride atop either Kamulo or Nimbe, letting you use his unique harpoon gun ability, albeit a rather cheap one made up of a plunger and a rope. You can use it to drag objects around, open doors, or, like in tasks you perform for Captain Monkfish, use it to open treasure chests and return baby rubyfish to their expecting mother. On their own, Kamulo and Nimbe have a few abilities. Aside from floating above the ground, they can absorb liquids such as water and oil, using them to put out or start fires. These abilities are used extensively throughout the game. Early missions have you watering strange vegetation known as aeroplants to remove pollution, shooting water out of your mouth to destroy enemies, or picking up fruit to use as projectiles. Later, you meet a second hero known as Piccolo. He has the ability to charm villagers and animals using his musical pipe and lead them around. This too is used in a variety of puzzles. In one section, after putting out fires and destroying Dozer, a thankful villager offers up a goat as a present. You can lead the goat around, using its charging ability to break down walls or destroy enemies. Goats also feature in a minigame called Goat Guardians. The goal of the minigame is to protect 3 characters from mechanical dozers using Piccolo's special ability. You can choose to move the 3 characters around or use goats to destroy the dozers. It gets more difficult as you progress, with multiple enemies requiring you to think fast and move multiple characters at once. Played cooperatively, it's much easier, as each person can concentrate on one task at a time. The same goes for the rest of the game. While you can play it on your own, switching between Kamulo and Nimbe, playing with a friend and working together to solve puzzles makes it much more fun. Look out for Okabu when it launches on the PlayStation Network later this summer, and for more, head over to GameSpot.com to read our full hands-on preview.
If you've been keeping tabs on the Start Select prize pile, you'll know there's already a Battlefield 3 hoodie and an Armoured MLG Edition Vault Xbox 360 case, among other things, up for grabs.
This week we're adding, let's see, Transformers Dark of the Moon on Xbox 360 and a whole bunch of hoary Nintendo 3DS accessories. The prize pile will continue to grow until the snowy summit can only be reached with the help of Sherpas.
Until then, keep sending us your entries to win the whole lot. To enter, you'll need to compose a glorious game-themed limerick, such as this effort from Rhys Davies on Dragon Age Origins and its snarky love interest, Morrigan. I once met a witch of the wild. When I talked to her, she never smiled. But her mother's removal earned so much approval that now she is having my child.
Amazing. If you can match that, hit us up at competitions@gamespot.co.uk. Please include your postal address.
That is really good.
It is good, isn't it?
Every day we give our thanks for the wit, insight and general handsomeness of our commenters. If YouTube is the bubbling acid pool of toxic internet comments, the Start Select homepage is a nice warm bath of friendly feedback and constructive criticism.
We'll also take comments via Twitter, thank you very much, and on Facebook.
And if you are watching on YouTube, by the way, please remember extra marks are awarded for neat handwriting and good use of English.
Yulao2000 wants to know, as the guys are doing the UFC thing, what is Jane doing? That's in reference to the UFC Trainer Fitness Challenge being undertaken by Johnny, Guy, Alex and video producer Seb, as explained in Start Select earlier this week. Well, Yulao, I will mostly be eating vending machine snacks with fellow non-cage fighter Mark Walton and belittling Johnny, Guy, Alex and Seb for trying to, get healthy and strong.
Jet Set Nick celebrates unsung Start Select hero Seb, meanwhile, who did last weekend's feature on 8 unanswered questions about the Wii U, saying great to see Seb Ford voicing a longer feature in the show.
And Marcy4, in response to Mark's Uncharted 3 multiplayer teammates' disgraceful betrayal in last week's show, says, love that those friendly fire morons have been named and shamed via their PSN IDs, which wasn't our intention, Marcy, but thanks.
And that's all for another Super Start Select Weekend Edition. Don't forget, if you want to catch up on a week's worth of bite-sized daily Start Select shows, go chow down over at gamespot.com/startselect, and you can always subscribe in iTunes too.
Until Monday, when we'll be back with another daily show, enjoy your weekend. Stay classy, GameSpotters.